the Wannabeez.
He was sad that his brother was dead, and he's dismantling Christmas.
Fuck the Democrats, these people are crazy.
But what would it do to your standing in the community if it got out that you didn't believe in crystals?
I'm a hippie wannabe.
I'm a Tesdeaholic.
Reddit's like a crab that just molted its shell. It's like all pink and veiny and just like rah.
Can't ignore us, we buzzing now. No pair of wings, they asking us if we ready.
Can't be associated with this kind of shit.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Wannabeez. Joining me in the Beehive, as usual, Nick Gula.
Let's go!
Justin Kyle.
Yo, how's it going, Wannabeez?
And, folks, we got a special guest today, Bryan Johnson.
Hello, boys. Hello, everyone out there in Wannabeez land. How many are there? How many people are we talking to?
Maybe 80 people.
No. It's a little bit more than that. It's like roughly 200 or so.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's spread out between the different apps and what have yous. But yeah, it's about 200. It's not bad. But
that's crazy.
If you don't know who Bryan Johnson is, I don't even know how you ended up on this podcast. But for the stragglers that have no clue, we're dealing with, most notably, one of the comic book men. We're dealing with one of three Tell 'em Steve Dave. We're dealing with writer of multiple graphic novels like Carney, War of the Undead. We're dealing with a writer and director of film Vulgar. Literally the rock bed of the reason this podcast exists. Now, Bryan, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but there's something that we got to hammer out a little bit. So what is your understanding of the Wannabeez? What do you know?
I know nearly nothing, to tell you the truth. I'm going into this like a virgin. I know that it's something that you guys put together right after the cruise, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So the three of us met on the last IJ cruise. Nick Gula over here, he's been on every fucking Impractical Jokers cruise since the beginning, so he's OG. But we all met on the last one. We hit it off so well that there was one particular night on the cruise where this is something special. Something special just fucking happened. This is incredible.
Did we just become best friends?
It was one of those moments, and we're like, we have to continue this somehow. So let's do a podcast. So yeah, that's how that kind of started. We did a couple New Jersey trips too. We're all sort of spread out. So I'm up in Maine. We got Gula over in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And we got Mr. John over here. He's in Cornfield Land in Iowa.
So is that the only weed? Is Iowa weed friendly?
It is not currently, no.
So you have to sit there and watch these two smoke on camera?
Yes. Yeah.
The whole time.
Total follow.
I have to drive about an hour into another state to get it at the same access that they do. So yeah, it's very painful.
Gotcha.
The basis for the Wannabeez is the three of us, when approaching this idea of making a podcast, I couldn't shake the idea of being like, no matter what way we slice it, no matter how we cut it, we're all going to be, we're coded a certain way. You know, we were brought up from the same roots. So we're all going to be attempting to do this with the same flavor. It's going to be basically the same thing as Tell 'em Steve Dave. We're just going to be wannabe Tell 'em Steve Dave podcasters. So why, if we're going to do it, why not just go full-fledged, head over heels, call ourselves the Wannabeez and have zero shame.
Not only leaning into it, embracing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And shamelessly stealing everything you guys do. As you guys have said, better than anybody, Tesdy makes and the world takes.
We're going to play around with dyslexia.
Yeah. No, but we do have a game.
But we always, we've done PPP. Yeah. We've done our version of that a few times. Instead of Tim, the record store clerks, shout out to Tim. Tim's fucking awesome. We have my friend Travis come in, who's our music expert, and he's his own character. He's awesome. We call him DJ WT. So it's kind of fun because we started off initially just wanting to do something with the three of us, But naturally, just like Tell 'em Steve Dave, we have all these little side characters that start popping in, like DJ Tubby T, and we had Jeff for a while. But it's so crazy.
They're like, for lack of a better word, I guess you would call them like whack packers, like how Howard Stern used to have, like back when Stern was cool.
Yeah.
And he had like Wendy, and he had Gary, and he had Beetlejuice, and Hank the Dwarf, and Eric the Midget, and all these guys.
It's kind of the same idea, yeah.
Yeah, like
just random people.
Like Jimmy the Hair Guy, Johnny Law, Frank Five. You know?
Right. We've had Jimmy the Hair Guy on
speaking of stuff
already.
that we're stealing.
We've stolen
he's
Jimmy.
An accessible
He loves it. Jimmy loves as his fame grows.
He does. But it's so cool to be a fun excuse for the three of us to just have that weekly fucking hangout sesh every Sunday. And it's like kind of off topic, but it's kind of fun that once we end this, like 10 minutes later, like a new Tell 'em Steve Dave will drop.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's weird. It's almost been on a very weekly basis. Like I know you guys will take some small breaks here and there, but when we started, it seems like you guys got right on the ball too. It was just like bam, 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 bam every week.
Yeah, I try to keep it as regular as possible, just simply for myself because I don't have anybody to talk to all week. So getting that hour and a half a week is important.
You know, that's a great segue into one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about, that I feel like it was kind of heavily talked about at the beginning of Tell 'em Steve Dave, and not saying it's like lost in the weeds or anything, but things pan out and it doesn't get so hard. But one of the early things that was a huge theme is like it was like a release for you. It was like therapy. And I feel like we kind of get that same thing out of this. So we don't, not living in the same states, we don't see each other very often and talk a lot. So this, when we get together at the end of the week, it's the only time we get to break down how life is. So with Tell 'em Steve Dave, for you, it seemed like you definitely made that your faucet over a period of like 10 to 15 years. Because, every week it was just something where you would come in and you'd be unloading about this or venting about that. And so one of those things that I find really cool is, as we all know, you are uncle or father, as whatever one you want to know, to your niece and or daughter, however you want to cut it. But Sage, she's how old now?
19.
Jeez.
And reminds me of it constantly.
Oh my, does she really?
Yeah. It's never like I'm 19. It's like I'm going to be 20. It's like, and she did the same thing when she was going to be 19. When she was 18, she's like, I'm going to be 19. It's like she almost like, it like fosters this foreboding feeling of like, why are you doing this to me? Like, why are you torturing me like this? Because she knows I'm constantly telling her, I was like, I used to carry you around in a little chair, and like you don't understand, man. You don't understand she'll never understand what it's like to watch a kid grow up and be like, holy fuck, you're really reminding me of how old I'm getting. Get out of here.
Yeah, if she had any idea, she'd be picking out a headstone for you already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But one of the reasons I've latched onto that a lot is because growing up listening to the podcast, my nephew, when he was born, not long after we found out he had autism, and so I was kind of a big part of his life growing up, and listening to how you were with Sage at a young age and all the things you had kind of had to go through, and how you, I don't know, you had a very, it is what it is kind of attitude about it, that like, it was very resilient and kind of cool to listen to. So then, I never knew it was going to happen, but then flash forward to me having my own child. He's 6 now. But we found out when he was 2, he's also has autism, and he's 6 now with nonverbal autism. So as we all know, in the Wannabeez land, I Tell 'em Steve Dave's the only podcast I listen to. So listening to it over and over and over and over again, I get to listen to your experiences over and over and over again. And it's sort of like this, unexpected coaching thing that I've had along the way of being like, Like it sucks and it's hard and it's, not fair, but it just is what it is. And so I guess thanks for that is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
Thanks for being such a stand-up parent for a disabled child like myself. Another thing that I relate to with you heavily on is your mother. There's been something about the show that I've been wanting to like kind of latch on to it, which is like the evolution of how your relationship with your mother has gone. It started out like, I guess with anybody else's who has like a rocky relationship with their mom. And then you kind of have gotten to the point where now like you're all getting older and it seems like you're kind of spending more time together and appreciating how it is. And so a little backstory for you, Bryan. I haven't talked to my mom in a couple of years now. I don't have a very good relationship with her. I've always wondered, like, with all these things and all these stories you've told about your mom, which I relate to heavily. Like, my mom went through a whole Wiccan thing. She has all these, she has all these random fascinations that she goes through. She, the gaslighting, the what have yous, the whole like, I didn't have time for this and that because I was raising children.
Which translates into it was your fault.
Yeah, naturally. Thank you. God, you just hit the nail right, hammer right on the nail.
He's reading the room. It's all your fucking fault, John. It's always your fault.
Everything's your fault.
What I find absolutely fascinating, though, is that you have stayed like, and I'm probably, looking from the outside looking in, you've stayed like this column in your family, especially, with Sage, and you still remain in your parents' life in their old age. And I just ask, has that been difficult for you? Like, have you ever had this period of just like, I don't have to deal with that anymore. I'm my own person.
I guess it's age.
Is it?
Like, how old are you?
Well, okay, so I'm glad you asked. I'm now only 26, 27 here soon.
Right, okay, yeah. So I'm like more than twice as old as you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I can tell you 100% it comes with age where you just start, like at a certain point, I was talking to my brother and the conversation we were having, it just suddenly clicked where I'm like, she's crazy. she's just a crazy lady.
Right.
And that's the way, again, that's just the way it is. So I'll just deal with that. And like, even though it's frustrating at times and like, I'll have stories about blowing up at Christmas or whatever because of her bullshit. It really hasn't been that way for a while. And it seems to have coincided with when I started taking a certain medication. So I look back and I'm like, was it me the whole time?
Ooh.
Or was it just that I wasn't like equipped to deal with her bullshit because I wasn't medicated? I'd like to think the latter.
Right.
That it wasn't my fault.
As you get older, there's a whole different, perspective on.
Yeah. I think definitely there's a level of like, I don't have the energy for this shit anime, and it's also like if you don't, like with somebody like my mother, if you don't engage her in that kind of stuff, if you don't like she does weird shit too. Like she's told my wife the same story about one Christmas. We had two cats, Calvin and Hobbs. One Christmas, right before Christmas, Hobbs died. Calvin then was picking at the Christmas tree, like messing around with the balls. And my mother read that as he was sad that his brother was dead and he's dismantling Christmas because he's just not in the mood. Like when you realize that somebody thinks in that way and then not only thinks that way, but repeats the story to multiple people, that's her reality. Yeah. So how the fuck am I supposed to argue with that?
I see it on a daily basis. So I work at a crystal. It's like a head shop where we sell bongs and stuff like that, but we also sell a lot of crystals. A lot of crystals. So we get people all the time. Like I got this one woman that she comes in and she thinks her house is haunted. And if she buys a new stone and puts it in a certain room in a certain time of the day, it'll cleanse that. Like, she tells me all about it. Like, imagine living like that. Just imagine living like that for 1 second.
It's either got to be a really comfortable existence or absolutely terrifying one.
That's what I'm saying. And there's also, like, I talked about on the show, there's this one lady. she comes in and let's say like she picks up a stone or something, and she holds it close to her chest, and she kind of sways back and forth. And she's like asking the universe if it wants to go home with her. And she does it to every fucking item she buys. Every item that she picks up or is interested in, she's like holding it close, doing this whole thing. And I'm watching her and I'm like, imagine like grocery shopping with this woman. How the fuck do they function on a day-to-day basis?
Percentage of the time that she holds that stone to her.
Like how long? It depends.
The percentage of times she buys that particular piece.
She more often than not, she doesn't buy it. It's like a magic 8-ball. Sometimes she's like, not right now. This isn't for you. Maybe tomorrow or something. And she says it out loud, like she's narrating the whole thing to herself.
Oh, that is awesome.
You should 100% hide that stone from that woman.
You have the greatest job ever. You just get the people watch all day, guy. Just crazy people come into your store.
I have to go on those journeys. I have to go on that conversation with those people to make the sale happen. You know what I mean? So I have to kind of play into it.
It's got to get tiresome, right?
Super tiresome. Oh, there's like I could do it for an hour, and then I disappear into the basement of the store. And I just totally decompress for a second. Like I just sit there and I just.
But what would it do to your standing in the community if it got out that you didn't believe in crystals? That you're
oh my god!
Nobody comes in. They're boycotting. They're boycotting Justin. They're in the front.
Crystals.
They got signs out there.
One woman that came in specifically looking for. You want to tell them about it?
Oh, this is a good story. Yeah, I'll tell this story. So this one woman came in. And she was an older woman. She was probably in her 80s, maybe even early 90s. Old woman. And she's like looking around. We have this whole gallery of like cases and cabinets of crystals. And she's asking me about this one particular crystal. And at this is when I first started working there. And I had no idea even the names of some of this stuff. So I was walking around with like this little book, just kind of like bullshitting my way through these conversations, you know. And so I was reading what the book said, like its properties, quote unquote, what it's good for. And it said like it's really good for relaxing, it's a calming stone, and it also directly combats cancer cells. And as soon as I said that, I was like, oh shit. I shouldn't have said that. Oh fuck. Like, oh no. And she lit up like a light bulb and she's like, oh my God, how much? I need this stone. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And it was just a $90 fucking like ball. It was just a ball. It was like a blue ball, like a rock. It was $90. And she bought, sold, paid for, wrapped it up. She was on her way out. I was so depressed after that transaction. Like someone, like in my head, she stopped chemo.
That boy saved my life.
Exactly.
Even worse, Justin, if she was taking it home for her loved one and it was going to save her loved one, and then she came back and she was like, you said this was going to cure cancer.
Even more of a twist would have, like, she gets home and she's just placing it on the pile of the same rock. And it's like, she's just like, maybe if I get enough of them, it's like a dragon on a pile of gold.
I could live forever. But it's just like, to be in that lifestyle of like, this rock, I'm being haunted by a demon. And this rock is going to save me. Like, what kind of fear are you living with?
When we had the stash, the original stash on Monmouth Street, there was a place next door that sounds a lot like where you work with like the crystals and the bongs and all that stuff. And the dude who owned it was a real hippie, like super zen, super cooled out, really nice guy, all this other shit. And I went in there a couple times to buy like pipes or whatever. But then when we moved the store, I didn't really go in as much. And it was like maybe a month or two after we left that we found out that he hanged himself in the back of his store. And I was like, I guess he wasn't so zen after all. Like, I was totally fooled by this guy.
That's going to be me someday, guy. I'm going to be in the basement like I sold one too many rocks.
Yeah, but you were like that guy seemed to be the real deal. You're a hippie poser, so it's even worse.
I'm a hippie wannabe.
Yeah.
through and through.
I've always wondered if there was like a level of toxic positivity where like so much goodness could
Definitely.
set like a random triggering of an absolute negative. Like where like, yeah, like he was such a Zen guy and then he's hanging from the rafters.
Yeah, that was shocking to hear. I gotta say.
We seem to go down this road a lot, John. What happened to this person? We have these people in our lives that took their lives, or and
The dangling saint comes all back.
All right, we'll switch topics here. I thought maybe we could do a little TV talk. That's another big TESD one that Bri loves,
yeah.
I know for sure. Doing a little bit of what have we been watching.
Some of the idiot box talk that we
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I know maybe me for sure. Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal. Have you guys been watching this show?
No.
I have not. I'm waiting until it wraps up, and then I'll binge it.
Okay, but did you watch the season 1?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. That's all I need. So you guys have got to get on this show. Did you watch Nathan For You at all?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, you got to prime yourself with Nathan For You.
Yes,
Really?
That's
for sure.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Nathan For You. Okay, I'm gonna add it.
Yeah, so
I have a list of shit that I gotta get to at some point.
this one's it's a nice relaxing watch. Like you don't really need that much brain power. But he basically his thing is he's a small time Canadian businessman, and he goes from businesses and he helps them out with these like very unorthodox ideas. And he is very like monotone and awkward. And a lot of people just kind of like he catches people off guard with the things because his ideas are really outrageous, but he approaches you like he's a very relatable, normal guy. And so that's Nathan For You, and it's really good, and it gets outrageous. Like it's over 4 seasons. It gets to the point where you're like, not only you're like, I can't believe people are continuing to go along with just whatever this guy says. But he really pushes.
And there's one thing that resolves itself with a guy who plays an impersonator.
Okay.
Oh yes! Oh man!
That I don't want to say because it would give it away. And he's a Bill Gates impersonator.
Yeah.
But the way that guy's story arc is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think he shows up in like 3 episodes in total. He's awesome. He's excellent.
But I feel like he steals the entire season.
Yeah. And Nathan's really good about doing like finding these people you would never expect to be so captivating and putting them right there in the spotlight. And you're like, I've never been more invested in anything in my entire life.
Yeah.
I think it was Finding Francis. Yeah. His like
Nathan
long
For
lost
You.
love
I'm going to
Francis.
watch it.
So then The Rehearsal is like basically his ideas when approaching something that's hard in life, something that's going to like put you under a lot of stress. If you could only reenact it beforehand, if you could only like go through the experience in almost an improvisational
Oh, that's super
way.
interesting, actually.
So like for the very first episode, it's like a one-off, and then the continuation of the season, he picks another thing. So the first episode is like he has this guy who wants to tell his friends that he goes to like a trivia night at this bar, and he wants to tell his friends that he has been lying to, that he does not have a certain degree. I can't remember what it is. Let's say it's a bachelor's degree. He's been telling them that he has this degree, and they're all educated and they all have degrees, and they all talk about the colleges they went to, and he's been lying this whole time, and he wants Nathan to help him approach this situation where he comes clean to these people. And so what Nathan does is he rebuilds this entire bar that he goes to in a warehouse down to the most minute detail. And then he hires all these actors and stuff and they run
That's
like a
awesome.
session of the night, and then he reenacts it over and over again.
That sounds awesome, actually. That
fascinating.
sounds really good. What? Where's this streaming?
It's on Max. But season 2 is coming out now, and I don't blame you at all, Brian, for waiting for all of it to binge it, because after that first episode I watched, I'm like gnawing at my knuckles trying to get to the next episode. I forgot how much he draws me in.
Oh, speaking of TV and stuff, Brian Q always talking about Deadwood. I never actually watched it until probably like a year ago. I sat down and I watched the whole series. Fucking absolutely loved it. And it's fucked up because now when I go back and listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave, I can appreciate it on a whole other level now. I get the jokes, I get the one-liners, I get the little clips that pop up once in a while.
The only thing that with that series that the ending obviously was imperfect, and then this girl I knew, I told her, I was like, yeah, the movie's coming out, you should watch the series prior. So she did, and then she watched the movie, and I watched the movie at the same time, and then when we compared notes, I was like, wow, that was really disappointing, man. And she was like, why? And I was like, because it was just like another episode.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, yeah, but... And then I realized, I was like, wait a second, you were only waiting 2 weeks to watch this movie. I was waiting 20 years.
Yeah.
So my expectations were a lot loftier than hers were.
And the show ended on the Pinkertons coming in and this whole war going, shit was about to get crazy, and the movie was just like you said, just like another episode. I'm like, okay, what's
and not even a particularly great one.
Yeah, it was, nah.
It was interesting to see everybody come back, see how people aged and shit, see who made it and who didn't.
Swear Engine is by far the best, one of the best TV characters of all time.
That dude's ability to deliver dialogue is fucking insane. Back in the day, Kevin Smith was having a party at his house. It was like some kind of charity ball type thing, and there were a bunch of famous people coming. And he asked Q and I if we wanted to bartend, and we were like, sure, man, we'll watch some celebrities, hobnob and give them some beers and shit. Why not? So we were working the bar and talking to this lady, and she was like, who are you impressed to see here? And we were like, we named a couple people, but we were most impressed we are with Ian McShane.
Yeah.
We'd do anything to meet him. And she's like, really? Like him? And we were like, yeah, that's the one guy we would want to meet. She's like, well, I can do that. I'm his wife. And we were like, get the fuck out of here. And she was like, yeah, come on over. And we got to meet him and shake his hand. Short in stature guy, but friendly dude to us anyway, I guess, because his wife was introducing us.
How intimidated were you when he's like, you're standing in front of Swear Engine now? It's like, what?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It seems kind of surreal. You're like, I know that you expect when somebody's that good, or say Gandolfini in Sopranos, when somebody's that good at immersing themselves in a character, you're like, it's almost detrimental because you have a hard time seeing them as something else in other movies.
So in real life, is he really that different from his Swear Engine? Because when he does when he does some other roles, it's...
Well, he has an English accent.
Oh, really? Okay, shit.
So that was much different than Swear Engine.
When we were all on the cruise, we were talking about that. It's so fucking weird to see you, Bryan Johnson, walking around. We're like, why is this? What the fuck? This is weird. Or when Jimmy was watching Steve-O eat a fucking apple, and he was beside himself. That's one of my favorite cruise memories. Is Jimmy freaking out watching Steve-O eat a meal. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But I felt that
of all the shit that Steve-O did on that cruise, him eating an apple is most impressive to Jimmy.
He eats just like me. Holy fuck.
At least their voices stayed the same. Have you ever heard Gandolfini's actual voice, when he's not Tony Soprano? That shit is jarring.
Yeah.
It takes you out of it.
But yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, there's just certain people that I can't see as other people or other actors. It's just, but then you get people who would somebody like Johnny Depp who disappears into roles that you're like, okay, I would buy him as that, or guys like Tom Hanks who play the same fucking role every time, pretty much.
What have you been watching lately, Brian? Anything good?
Old stuff, actually. I've been watching this show from 1980 called Too Close for Comfort.
Okay.
That had Ted Knight in it.
no shit.
And I was just scrolling through Peacock one time, and I was like, holy shit, I haven't thought of this show in a long time. So we started watching it, and I'm like, I can't say it exactly like, it's like, oh my God, it holds up. It's like a fucking awesome 80s comedy. But we're still fucking watching it anyway, because what else am I doing? And by Troy's recommendation, even though like I didn't like Julia Louis-Dreyfus because I didn't like her in Seinfeld. So that was just like my exposure to her. And I don't like Seinfeld in general.
Yeah.
So that was my only exposure to her. So I didn't really care for her. I guess I just didn't care for her character because I started watching Veep at Troy's recommendation. It's so really? Fucking good. And within 2 episodes, I was like, she's great.
That
like
show is
she's
so
amazing.
Good. That show is so fun.
I wouldn't have guessed that'd be a show you'd get into.
Yeah. I didn't think so either. But Troy was like, yeah, you really should check it out. You really should watch it.
I guess Little House wouldn't have been one on my list either. So
no, man, Little House is a fucking bomb. I want to get into that. I want to get into the reboot. Pull some Hollywood strings. You know, I'll just be a guy in the background. I don't even need a line. I just want to like walk by. Yeah, like maybe I'm being abusive to a horse or something.
Yeah,
you know, just so I stand out a little bit.
Well, the beard does half the work, I think.
Yeah.
You fit right in.
I'm telling you, anytime Mary Beth and I watch something with bikers or cowboys in it, I'm like, I could have done that.
Yeah.
Like I could be that guy. Like, I could do that.
What would you rather be though, a biker or a cowboy? That's the question. I mean, do you want to like be like a rough and tough cowboy, or do you want to be a fucking
cowboy? Seems more romanticized than a biker. Like a biker, I know I'm gonna have to be a party to probably a lot of unsavory shit, like on the reg, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to really be a part of that kind of culture, but you know, but I guess if you're a fucking outlaw in the Old West, you're the same
boat, I guess.
Doing the same shit, yeah.
Yep.
And myself now just wandering onto the Western Channel, but watching it for like 4 hours, not like just zoning out for some reason. I got to that age where it's like it's interesting to me, and I just watch it for like 4 hours for some apparent reason.
Me and my grandfather would watch Gunsmoke all the time, dude. That was like a staple in our house for a while. They would get upset because it was reruns. And we're like, yeah, it's all fucking reruns. Are you crazy? What are you talking about? They'd sit like halfway through the episode, they'd be like, oh, I've seen this one before. This is a rerun. I'm like, yeah. Of course. But yeah, Gunsmoke. And what was that fucking not Andy, it wasn't the Andy Griffith show. Oh, it was Matlock. We watched that a lot. The original show, not the new one that Walt loves, but
that one's good too. Kathy Bates. Hey,
yeah, I love Kathy Bates too. She's great.
Yeah, she's rarely like bad in anything.
Yeah.
Like she always brings something. Before
we get to the game, I actually have a couple listener questions that I got from a select couple listeners that I wanted to throw at Bri. So this one comes from Daniel. And he just wants to know simply, what's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell?
Yeah, good question, Daniel. Thank you.
Smell of napalm in the morning? Yeah, I guess that would be my answer.
This one comes from Matt. What's been the most enjoyable activity from Bri Tries? Like, what's been something that you've actually considered picking up?
So far, I would say the metal detecting, simply because it was outdoors and it was nice and shit. You know, like everything else, like was either fucking freezing or indoors. You know, like crocheting and shit. You know,
crocheting,
like that kind of stuff. Yeah, like I just don't see. Like I guess I could do it while I was sitting. If I learned the movement enough, I could just sit there and do it while I was watching TV. But
nah,
I don't know.
Fishing?
Yeah.
You're not gonna be fishing.
No, because I can't go with Johnny Law all the time. Yeah. If me and Johnny Law, like, we became a team of fishermen, and he taught me, he gave me, like, dropped all his knowledge to me, then sure, yeah.
Nice.
Other than that, and I can't really go out on boats either. I get seasick too easily, so I got to tell Johnny Law that we're landlocked. We got to like fish off a pier, maybe. So, what did you guys? If I can bring something up, like, how did you guys like Q West? Like, I guess I never really heard your wrap up.
That was so freaking good.
Loved it.
It was so good. Non-stop.
John here missed out, so
John absolutely loved it.
He was like the Jimmy of your gang. Like Jimmy was the only one who wasn't down there, and it was
100%.
You're suicidal.
We actually had Jimmy on.
Yeah, 100%.
Afterwards.
No, Q West honestly was. It was amazing. It was better. I enjoyed it more than the cruise. Although I liked how on the cruise, like when you were on the boat, you were there, and like you could pass out on the fucking side of the boat for, you know what I mean? Like, whereas like in Key West, it was like a lot of like hustle and bustle between events. It was like, let's go to that one.
Yeah, like you're always busy. You're always busy doing something.
Yeah, there was.
You could pass out on the side of the street.
Yeah.
You could. And many people did.
That was my first time in Key West. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That was so
yeah,
fun.
it was my first time. It's awesome, but it's always a fun time when you guys are involved. I gotta say, it's just nonstop fun. If anybody would go on anything to be convinced this is something you need to do, because it's just amazing.
It was fun to just see people that we recognize from other TESD events. You know, like it's just like, oh shit, there's Sherry or there's Beth, or you know what I mean. It's just cool to see people again.
And it's unlike the cruise. It's a manageable number of people where you're like, it's much easier to recognize or remember 200 people than 2,000.
Yeah,
on a boat, you know, it's just not possible.
And it just like eliminates like, you know, I don't know. On the cruise, there was just like a whole culture of people that were just there to try to like berate the Jokers anytime they saw them, or like any of the celebrities, or like it was just too crazy. You know what I mean? Whereas like QS, like we could just hang out. You know what I mean? It was a much more comfortable environment.
It's that Key West vibe, man.
Yeah,
that's everybody. Just like everybody just cools out.
Just chill.
I said we recorded Tell 'em Steve Dave today, and I was talking about how Curate. I'm not today. Sorry, Friday. And I was talking about how Curator was just sitting there cooling out, and I'm like, this is a guy that doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs. Yeah. He looks like he's fucking the most laid back in the entire fucking island, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime I was talking to Curator, he seemed to be just having a blast, an absolute blast. He just was so happy to be there. The most sober person in the entire event. It was just happy as a clam.
What he had to say was his signature afterwards. He was saying how bad his signature was.
Me and Nick got a couple things signed by him.
I didn't mind. I got my flag signed, so I was very happy about that. By the Cure.
I got him to sign that magazine that he made for Patreon. So I was super happy to get and like Curator's one of those guys. It's like you see on Twitter. Or you see just like, you know, from like the community or whatever, just to like actually meet him in person. It's just like, whoa, like this is kind of weird. Like you're a stranger. I don't recognize you, but somehow I know you. Like it's fucked up.
Yeah, I remember the early days of USQ, like when there would be meetups, people would be like, oh, I'm so-and-so, and just give their board name because that's how you knew them. It wasn't like as personal as it was today. It seemed like people didn't really identify themselves as freely back then. Now people don't give a fuck.
Well, I don't even know Curator's real name, and I told him don't tell me. Like you're Curator.
Knowing that
complete contrast to that, the three of us know almost everything about each other. So, and we've only known each other for about a year and a half or so.
Yeah, it's just wild because like we all are. I don't know. For me, I've been listening to Tell 'em Steve Dave all the way through high school, all my formative years. Like, I moved around a lot, so anytime I had a friend group, I lost it within like a year and a half. So Tell 'em Steve Dave was the constant, I guess, like friend group in my head in a way. Like if I was just like, I just want to listen to like Walt pick on Ming for fucking 2 hours. Like I'll just, you know what I mean? Like it was. And so now that I'm older and I've kind of now I'm able to have like my own money to like just travel to Key West or go on the cruises or go to Jersey whenever I want and like meet people like John and Nick. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy to think that like listening to something for so long has led me to this. Like, it's fucking weird. All those nights I had to fight with my parents to stay up and watch Comic Book Men because I'll never be able to see those episodes again.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty fucked up though because like you could watch Batman every night of your life for 20 years straight and you'll never be on a podcast with Bruce Wayne. So it is pretty fucking meta to be in this moment.
It's fucked up. But But like I mean I remember being in like high school and telling people about the Not So Super Bowl and just people like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, but I mean, fuck, it's been like over 10 years of listening like constantly every day. Fucking, it's kind of slowed down, but like there was a while.
Sound like you're at a fucking AA meeting, dude. Like
Yeah, it was like I'm addicted.
I'm a Tuesdayaholic.
I'm addicted.
But this is also like, you imagine an AA meeting where a giant bottle of whiskey walks in and is like, "Hey, Justin, I'm here to talk to you for a little bit." Like, that'd be fucking crazy.
That would be fucking. I'm like, am I hallucinating?
No.
It's different for me because I was an adult.
Yeah.
Like I could listen to Tell 'em Dave in a house that I'm doing electrical in as loud as I want because there's nobody in it for miles, so I could just sit there and listen to episode after episode after episode. So it was easier for me because I was an adult. I didn't have to go, "Oh, can I listen to this?" So it's a little bit different.
It's even easier for you now too because you. So I've met Bri once. Justin, you've met him now, what, 3 times? Yeah, and
times, yeah.
Gula's met him more fingers than he has on one hand. So, like, it's got to be way easy to get through it now.
No, it's still not that easy. I still since it's first day I met this dude. You gotta understand, it's like meeting a like an untouchable person. It's just like unbelievable. Teflon Knight, remember?
I think a little bit of that's been worn down a little bit. In these
It
recent
depends on
years.
who you ask.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, if you ask Reddit, that Teflon's long gone.
Reddit.
That's when you know you made it. You get fucking shitted on Reddit, guy.
Yeah, like week after week, somebody's like, "Why is he a dickhead now? Let me write it down."
Reddit's like a crab that just molted its shell. It's like all pink and veiny and just like, "Rah!"
I do go to Reddit not to look up anything about myself because I don't want to read it, but like I was surprised at how left leaning it is. I had no idea that like politically it was like so left leaning. Like everybody's
Compared to Instagram, you'd have thought it'd be the other way around.
yeah. That was just something that surprised me about Reddit. Like because they're all so angry.
Yeah, so they're like the loudest. Yeah, no, yeah, it's fucking, it is annoying. I mean, I use Reddit to look at fucking like dogs
and pressure washing and
I mean, don't get me wrong.
shit.
I'm about as left as they come, but the only people who hear about it are the people who live under this roof. It's just like me going from room to room like a cat in heat, just just talking about all the politics and
pissing
shit.
on the walls and
just
shit.
like I would never go on the internet and think that I'm gonna make any kind of wave.
I can't sit still. I'm not that person. I just did a labor walk for a candidate on Saturday, so you gotta put in time if you want results. You gotta put in time.
You did what?
A labor walk.
Labor?
Yeah, a labor walk. So a candidate in in a race like a state representative, you go door to door,
Right.
you knock on doors, and you just.
Oh, okay. He's like, I'm here to change your mind, maybe.
No, I'm there's no disillusion. I walk up. Sometimes I get told "fuck you." Sometimes there's a gun involved. I walk off the property, and I'm like, "Okay, have a nice day." Sometimes they were like they want to just rant about fuck the Democrats. These people are crazy, and you just sit there and listen to them and go, "Thank you very much for your time." And you walk to the next house, you knock on the door, and you just try it again. I just thought it's fun to talk to people. That's all.
That's such a great attitude to
go there.
have. Not enough people have that attitude of just like it's just fun to talk to people because people take it way too seriously. Because I feel like a lot of people take things that are serious almost not serious, like a football team, and then take things that are serious way too serious as if it's life or death. So like if you're just out there to talk about things, I feel like that's a breath of fresh air in my
I'm not
book.
only talking about things. I'm talking about like affordable housing. I'm talking about like the things people need to talk about. Good paying jobs, union jobs. If you want that, then you gotta vote for the people that are going to provide
Holy
it.
shit, I know it's sucked into a fucking commie wormhole. What's going on here?
Yeah,
fucking duped.
yeah.
Grab a hammer and sickle, Bry.
I know, man. Jesus Christ. I've been associated with this kind of shit. How often we chant USA on our show?
Yeah, but that's funny you say that because Ghoul is the first one to start chanting that on this show too. Like he is the USA
he does that
guy,
all the
so
fucking time.
Yeah.
it's funny.
He really is.
USA, USA, USA.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, the game. I have no idea anything about this fucking game. You and Gulo.
You want to play the game?
Yeah,
right?
so
Okay.
the basis for this game is basically, so it's a direct rip off of, like we usually do, we're ripping away from Tell 'em Steve Dave. It's a direct rip off of 2 Live Crew or 1 Middle-Aged Jew. And so where I got the inspiration from this is we did a PPP a while back, and Gula submitted a song from Ghetto Boys, and I had not really heard Ghetto Boys that much before that, and I had started delving in a little bit since he put it onto me, or put me onto it, I should say.
So Ghetto Boys is like a it's like
like, what would you say, like late 80s, early 90s East Coast rap.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So,
Yes, sir.
So Ghetto, they do like Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster. That's like one of their really big ones. So and then as it so happens, Gula's son, Little Nick Millier. So he is a rapper of sorts, and so I thought, what an opportunity we would have to pick these two not groups, but Nick and Ghetto Boys, put them together, swap up their lyrics, and see if we could try to discern them at all. And on top of that, everybody loves Gula's accent. He's got a thick Boston accent, and he's not the best phonetically reading things out loud, and not to pick on him, but I just thought it was a perfect storm.
Go well.
Yeah, it was a perfect storm.
It's not going to go well.
We're not going to be able to discern.
It's
what
absolutely not going to go.
So the game is called.
It's absolutely not going to work.
The game is called Ghetto or Gula.
This is Gula or Gula's son?
Gula's son.
Gula's son. Okay, and how old is he?
He's 26.
Okay.
So yeah, like you said, John, get
Ghetto or Gula.
Just choose either or. I'm gonna say a verse, and you can just I'm trying. I'll try my best. This isn't gonna be great. Up in your ear, can't ignore us. We buzzing now. No pair of wings. They asking us if we ready. I told all apparently.
So okay.
Yeah, I fucked that totally.
So that's the first one.
That's the first one.
Right.
What? I don't even know what he said. What the fuck did you
You
say,
just gotta
guys?
concern yourself.
I
It's
knew
very
this
easy.
was going to be
Was that
a hit.
is this Gula? 50-50 chance. You got a 50.
Pretend you're going. All right, I want you to close your eyes. Pretend you're going up to somebody's door, knocking on their door, and this is your sales pitch.
Oh, do you rap your sales pitch to people?
No,
That would be awesome.
I should though, right? I should.
I wouldn't chase you off if you did that.
Right.
Big
Because I was
Nick,
like, this guy's willing to perform a rap.
Big Nick and Little Nick rapping politics.
That's Janet.
You gotta give it a little.
a little.
What does that mean?
Yeah, don't be so white.
I'm super white. Up in your ear, can't ignore us. We buzzing now. No pair of wings. They asking us if we ready. I told them all apparently. What
Okay.
Where did that come from? Was that Ghetto Boys
Is that ghetto?
or was that
I'm
Gula?
gonna take a wild guess and say that it's Gula.
I'm gonna say Gula as well, and I think it's
Yeah.
Gula just because there's like buzzing and wings and there's a bee theme. Now that I could understand what you were saying, yeah, now
Okay.
Gula.
Yeah, I think it's going to be unanimous. I think
It's going to be unanimous. You would be
All right.
correct. All three
Let's call that the
correct,
test
Yeah.
run.
guys.
I hope they're not all that easy.
That was definitely the test round. It was easy. I was just
You
that
got
was a
this.
lob over the trying to lob it, ease into this situation.
So we're 3 for 3.
Come on, you gave a kidney. All you got to do is read
Read a couple
raps.
reps out of the book that I put down. Nobody crosses me, especially in the dope game. So raise up off me. I she 'em. I don't joke, man.
Wow. What do you think, John?
Let me suspensefully tap my lip for a second.
I'm still reeling from like he was reading his own lyrics and could barely read them. Like those are his lyrics.
I'm glad you get the magic behind the game.
See how it's fun?
Okay, now I'm starting to
trying
get it.
decipher
Yeah.
what the fuck he's trying to say.
You don't have to. It's the added difficulty of that. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not a rapper. Don't claim
I
to be a
thought-
rapper.
When you guys like kind of like told me that it was gonna be Ghetto or Gula, I thought Nick was just gonna come on here and just drop like
I was gonna
N
I was
bomb
gonna
after
rap.
N bomb, guy. And he's gonna be fucking rapping.
No, I knew
You
exactly what this was going to be.
John set him up.
Yeah, sometimes you just
All right, I'm gonna.
you want to watch the world burn.
I'm gonna say that one's probably Ghetto Boys because that you talked about like what was it if bitches be crossing me and shit
Yeah,
like
and
that.
my dope gang.
Dope gang.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm with Justin.
It's probably Ghetto Boys.
This is a tough one because I was leaning towards Ghetto Boys too, but I want to make it interesting. But I'm just not sure if Ghoul is the accomplished rapper it would take to put those rhymes together.
Don't get me wrong. Gula's he's a great rapper. A writer.
Yeah. Yeah, he could write. He could write like a motherfucker. But
Again, I think I'll go with you guys. I think I'm going to go
Okay.
Ghetto Boys.
what is
Ding
it?
ding ding.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, Gula, give us a challenge.
Give us a good one.
And this one, I want Johnson to answer first.
School me, you get served with no regard, boy. Don't test me, cause I'm tired of teaching lessons. So motherfuck you and that bullshit you stressing.
If I'm going first, yeah, I think that sounds like a Gula lyric to me.
Oh,
It sounds old school. It sounds OG.
Gula is ghetto. He is ghetto. He's told stories about being in gangs before. He's had to cut people. He's been in fights.
Right. Like when you say cut people, like cut people in line or cut them
Yeah.
like that's gangsta.
at the pharmacy.
Yeah, the latest Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I think it's Ghetto Boys. I'm gonna say Ghetto Boys because this isn't like shot at you, Gula, but it had a nice it was well written. it was what's the word? It's kind of poetic, It rhymed well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ghetto Boys too, just because the last word's stressin'. I think if you can rhyme stressin', you've probably been rapping for a while.
Oh, Brian, you're wrong.
Ooh,
Justin and
we got our first one on the board. Damn. This is heating up.
I tricked him with it. I tricked him with my rapping skills.
If only you had a giant watch hanging from your neck. That might clear things up a little bit.
Flavor Flav. I keep an extension cordless. I turn it up the heat, bitch. I'll torch him. I want an expensive friendship. I'll be grinding till I'm in.
Wait. Why did it take so long for you to read friendship?
Let me guess, it's your own handwriting.
It's my own handwriting. I can't write. I can't read it. That's the problem.
Bingo.
That's the problem I'm having right now.
Me.
Right?
I'm gonna say that one's Gula.
He didn't even read it all. Can we get another read through?
I already know it. Okay.
Do you need another read through?
Yeah, I want to hear every word.
Read every word. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I keep an extension cordless. I'ma turn up the heat, bitch. I'll torch him. I want an expensive friendship. I'll be grinding till that Forbes list.
I think. Okay.
I'm in that Forbes list.
Okay.
All right.
I think.
What do you think?
Forbes is this? Was it ever a magazine? I think that's an internet thing.
No, it was a magazine at one time.
Was it okay?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely a
suspicious.
periodical.
Okay. Well, I'm obviously far too young to be able to discern that, so thank you. My resident silver hair over there.
I fucking drop truth bombs all the time to my young wife. I'm like, you want to know anything about this TV show? Just ask me. I'll tell you.
Nice.
It's from 1983.
From now on, I'm gonna be tweeting you about anything post 85
All right.
or pre 85. I mean, so I'm gonna go Ghetto Boys on that one, just because I really like that extension cord line.
I think I'm gonna go Gather Boys as well, just for the Forbes line at the end. I thought it was Gula, but then I switched to Gather Boys.
I was gonna
at
say
the end.
Forbes for Gula, but then I got learned.
You got learned.
I'm going to go ahead and I'll disagree just to make it fun and say Gula, because the last time his reading was indecipherable, it turned out to be him.
Nice.
You just got a point.
All right.
No fucking way,
That was
really?
Gula.
That was a gula. That was a gula, guy.
Wow.
That was a gula.
I like the extension
Wow.
cord line. Hot
Damn. I thought for sure that was a fucking Ghetto Boy. All right, do you want to do one more?
Sure.
Well,
Fuck it, one more?
it's a tie right now, so we got to do one more.
What's the tie? What?
It's-
I didn't even know you
It's
keeping score.
It's 3-3 right now.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's 3-3.
Fierce.
Because I don't give two fucks about your punk. You may carry a 45, but yo, I pack a pump.
I'm gonna let you either John or Johnson. One of
I'll go
you
first.
guys.
I think it's Ghetto Boys. It seems very,
Boys.
it's a very tight line.
It is.
That has a lot in it.
I think it's Gula, just because
Oh.
last time he surprised me. Last time he had a great the extension cord line was good. The Forbes, I don't know. I don't want to underestimate Gula.
I'm also going to go with Gula. Yeah. I love the idea of him loading a pump up.
In Wannabeez history, we have to say that Bryan has won
Oh,
shit.
nice.
Ghetto Agula. So congratulations. You know
Thank
more.
Bri, you won.
Bryan
Honored.
won. The first and only.
This is history because I
Ghetto
think this is like
Agula.
the first game that Justin didn't fucking win.
It is.
Yeah.
It probably is.
Yeah. Well, we only played one game, right?
I don't feel so good anymore.
We needed an outside element. We needed the unknown factor.
No, we did the PPPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I won at least 10 things, if that makes you feel better. I wanted to do something very special because during the Wannabeez, one of our favorite bits that we do is a bee fact. And I think it would be fun to summon the Gold Baron for a bee fact.
Ooh.
Would you be down for that, Brian?
Sure, if I can do it. I don't know. I haven't done it in a while.
Ooh,
Come on.
all right.
You're going to have to put some special effects in there. You're going to have to work on this.
Shit, you're gonna make me do something. Oh, should we have Nick read the
Yes.
poem? We gotta have Nick read the poem.
Oh, now you're gonna make me read it? The guy that can't
I
read?
think after that performance,
You gotta read it as if you were in The Departed.
Glittery night, oh so fierce and mighty, like some 24-carat Charles Nelson Riley, baptized in countless showers of demonic pee, more flamboyant and fabulous than Liberace.
A gay man's favorite type of bee is the behind.
Beautiful. Holy shit. That was awesome.
That's fucking amazing. That was good.
And utterly flamboyant.
That's really good.
Thank you. I just want to point out how well Gula read that. What's your game, Gula? What the fuck?
Yeah, you read that perfectly.
It was so fluent.
If I typed out the lyrics, maybe, but my
Okay, yeah. Then
my handwriting
scratches,
is
whatever.
ridiculous.
Oh my
All right.
god. Well, it's a
Not
good thing you're
only-
an electrician and not a writer.
I don't need to write. I don't have to write.
Well, we know for next time, I guess.
Yeah.
But hey, would you look at that? A new
Fucking
Tell
A.
'em Steve Dave just dropped.
Oh shit, guys, we got to get out of here. This is
The
TSC.
wafer hour.
Gotta go and listen.
Well, Brian, I just want to thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
so
on,
much.
being cool. This is a fucking dream. When we started this, we were talking, how fucking crazy would it be if we got Brian on? How crazy would we get Walt on? Like, that would be awesome.
Now you just got to lock down Q.
I know. I just got to lock him down. Maybe next QS I can lock him down. It won't happen.
Definitely not.
But, all right, be cool.
Shut the fuck up.
Buzz, motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right, boys, take it easy.